everyone, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo! Last time, in order to try to cheer Misha up, Shizune and Hisa tried to invite her to a picnic. But she didn't go! Well, hopefully we can find ways to cheer her up. Hopefully. Well, anyway, let's get back into it. Seems like I ate too much yesterday because I wake up in the morning feeling just nauseous enough for it to be a problem. Don't eat too much. I really can't postpone going into town for shopping though, so despite wanting to roll over and sleep it away, I force myself to get up and dress instead. Somewhere between buying toothpaste and a few other groceries, I end up walking it off. Good. Then I feel hungry. After stopping for breakfast, it hits me how much time has gone by. I hadn't expected to be out this long at all. I'm not even sure if I bothered to lock my door. I should really get back. Oh, it's Hideaki! When I get back to the dorm, I see Hideaki standing in front of my room from the entrance. I can think of few things more unexpected, and I can't help but thinking I might have a heart attack just from the surprise. Fortunately, it doesn't happen, thank goodness. As soon as he sees me, he says hello in his usual detached way. I'm a little slow to reply to him, so he repeats the greeting without missing a beat. Hello. Is something wrong? I'm just surprised to see you here. Not as surprised as I could have been, since it's impossible to make mistaken for anyone else. I'd recognize those weird clothes anywhere. Come to think of it, I've really surrounded myself with distinctive-looking people lately. Hideaki's head lolls slightly to one side, a little too easily. Why? Is it unusual to see someone's family come to see them? Well, yeah, actually. Oh, so Hideaki isn't such a robot after all. In fact, it's almost as if he's more caught off guard by the fact that he can be caught off guard, but he recovers quickly. Nevertheless, in that brief moment, he looks his age. That uncomfortable side of his seems like the more honest, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. Not so much, though, that I go out of my way to pry. Only Shizune would be that zealous. That my thoughts get so far is proof she's rubbing off on me. I think that you have a reason, that's all. There is one. See? Anyway, we can talk while we're looking for her. That's why you're here, right? Shizune is in the student council room. I was looking for you. We might take a trip soon, a family trip. Do you think she would want to come with us? Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of been on the warpath lately, with a lot of stuff. And once she's focused on something, she won't just drop it. I guess you would know that. He agrees. Hideaki looks much more at ease walking around than I did my first week. So, this isn't your first time here? Just throwing it out there. Of course, completely ignoring the surrounding environment could just ruin the family. It explains why Hideaki seems so distant from Shizune. I get the feeling there's more to it than just her deafness. No, but this is the first time I could walk around so much. This is kind of weird here. I bumped into a person who told me women are not allowed in the dorms. Kind of reminds me of the time when I mistook you for a girl. After I told him I am not a woman, he told me I was misleading, and then accused me of being an assassin. Oh! I think I just realized who he's talking about! I was warned that he was not only invincible, but strong enough to probably destroy the building with a punch, or at least knock over the painting hanging in the hallway. By the way, that painting is actually screwed to the wall. Yep, I was right. It was Kenji. Yeah, that's the guy across the hall from me. He's okay. I see. Oh, you left your door open. It was unlocked when I came here. I'm a little annoyed that Hideaki knows that. The only way he could is if he had opened my door, but the feeling passes. It doesn't matter. I have nothing to hide or steal. Your soccer ball is really nice. That's one of the things that doesn't matter. If you are a soccer player, a soccer ball is very important. I guess it is. The thought makes me smile. I'm here because my father bought a new phone. And
he wanted to update Shizune in case she needs to call him. I thought that you should know, too, since you're her boyfriend, aren't you?
Yeah.
Why? Just in case there's something wrong or she needs anything. It isn't what I meant, but I'll go along.
Even if she did, she probably wouldn't call.
That is how she is. Well, if you know,
Coming all the way here for that, though. Oh, he could have updated her via email.
he does not like using emails.
That's so old-fashioned. Don't tell me he still has business through regular mail or something.
Silence.
Now it's my turn to feel awkward. Is Hideaki taking it literally, or did I hit the mark? I'm willing to bet you hit the mark.
Nah,
I'm sure that what it really comes down to is that he does want to see his daughter and stay in contact with her. In the end, they're still family after all, even though they play at being at each other's throats. Oh, and speak of the devil! The door to the student council room is open, and Hideaki will walk in on Jigoro in mid-rant. He sees us, but decides that it's not something worth stopping rambling at Shizune over. This is really shaking my faith in my previous assumption.
when I was in the student council room, our room was smaller. Colder, too. Like working out of a meat locker. Not like you spoiled kids. What a waste. Sitting here in your giant room doing nothing.
Hey, we do stuff!
Aren't there only 3 of you? That makes having so many only seem like an unnecessary display of mindless decadence. Appalling. You should use the desks you need and not one more. It is part of my code.
And maybe you'll have me to think so, but hearing only one half of a conversation is pretty strange. Also, that's some code. Now that I've arrived, he changes the subject and starts talking about the reason he's here.
Hideaki and I are going on a trip. Okay, so... What are you doing? Does everyone who uses sign language mumble when they do it?
No, I'm just an amateur. It helps me think. It's kind of like force of habit.
Just an amateur. Unbelievable. Fine.
He turns back to Shizune just in time to catch her shaking her head from side to side.
Are you sure you won't be coming along?
She reiterates the gesture.
Fine. Can you tell her to call me if she needs anything?
Yes. I really think sending an email would have been easier, though.
I'm not going to read emails on my phone. If she won't speak, she can call Hideaki. I suppose if I have to be reached, you would have to call me, or that other girl would have to call me. Actually, all 3 of you can just call Hideaki.
I see that Jigoro's as annoying as ever. And with that, he swiftly turns and leaves, Hideaki trailing behind him. A long trip for something that took 5 minutes. Neither of them can express their feelings very well. In Shizune's case, I had to question whether she would or if she could. It explains a lot, but she doesn't seem unhappy with the arrangement. Even so, I wonder if she might be. When the door closes behind them, leaving Shizune and me by ourselves, she lets out a deep breath that seems to echo in the silence of the room. It's totally ridiculous asking me to go on a trip. The timing couldn't be worse. It overlaps the student council elections, for one. Second, I haven't even cheered up Misha. If you consider that, it's annoying to even have anything else to talk about. To think about. Jeez, I'm saying the wrong words, all. Yeah, but you might be too focused on all that stuff right now. Shizune adjusts her glasses roughly. Completely, 100% right. The minute I decided I was going to cheer up Misha, everything else went on the back burner, I suppose. I think your dad might care about you more than he lets on. I know. So then it could be a good idea. No. Then again, more firmly, as if for both of us. No. After coming this far, I can't take a break. A vacation would be jarring. It would be like waking up in a different life. Yesterday was like my vacation, so now we have to go all in. I'm sorry, but it's just how I am. I remember what Yuko said, that she found Shizune brave in a kind of way. I think I understand what she meant, and I have to agree. Even though it could also be called recklessness, and foolishness, and pointless stubbornness, I guess you could call it bravery, too. However, I can see that there is a fundamental flaw in Shizune's thinking that I hadn't noticed until now. I'm sure that Shizune has reflected longer and more arduously than I could about where she messed up to create such a bad situation between her and Misha. However, as typical for her, she wouldn't let it hold her back and immediately set out to fix the problem. This completely ignores a large part of the problem, Misha herself. Moving from critical introspection to holding Misha up as part of a goal causes the person to get lost in the shuffle. Shizune has said a lot in the past few days, but nothing about how Misha feels. Shizune's way of thinking is abnormal. Few normal people would reject a friend, and then expect things to go back to the way they were so easily. Shizune does, because she sees life as, if I had to put it simply, capable of being segmented and compartmentalized. I can't believe I actually managed to say that. Misha, like anyone else, sees it as a whole experience. A long, continuous journey, where one moment of heartache can follow you forever. For Shizune, an event is an event, and few of them cross over. Life is compartmentalized around triumphs, failures, and decisions, while each one stands as its own story. It's why the thought of a vacation is jarring to her. It's why she can only appreciate people's immediate emotions. It's exactly how someone obsessed with living in the moment would think, really. Likewise, Shizune can see Misha as a friend, but I doubt that she has ever thought of Misha as anything more until recently, or questioned anything about her. Misha is Misha would be enough for her, even if to Misha it must be unbelievably stifling. Shizune is just Shizune to herself. It's likely that she doesn't even think about the after effects of her actions in the long term, as long as they stir up other people's lives. To Misha, though, I'm sure it made her seem almost heroic, like Yuko admiring her bravery, and even myself. And Shizune's thoughts on this sentiment are that it was good she could touch someone's life, but it ends there. It's easy to captivate, much harder to nurture. On to the next thing. Thinking of life in terms of almost completely isolated events has a tendency to isolate a person too. Though she's trying to remedy it now, the point remains. There is simply no way Shizune could have avoided hurting Misha. Her emotional investment in Shizune was something Shizune couldn't account for, so she didn't. Combined with her personality, it was inevitable. Both of them have pretty much told me all of that in bits and pieces over the past couple of months I've known them. In the middle of considering their differences, an idea begins to take shape in my mind. Are you working on your plan right now? This second? Your cheer up Misha plan. Of course. I was thinking about it the whole time I was being yelled at. Flicking her glasses up the bridge of her nose with an oddly triumphant air, she taps her finger against her temple. It's multitasking. Really? Isn't it more like you're able to concentrate on something like that because you can't hear? Well, whatever. When I ask her what she thinks of mine, it turns out we've both arrived at a similar idea. I wonder what that idea could possibly be. Well, only one way to find out. Although it makes me feel kind of uneasy, since we're talking about a human being, the first step is to corner Misha. Though the situation is a little too much like something out of a cop drama for me, it's come to this because talking to her normally is proving to be near impossible. But we do have classes together, even the very first class of the day. Although it takes a while for the announcement to come, the second that I hear we're going to be working in groups today, Shizune and I try to make sure Misha is in ours. You know, I think Muto assigns a suspiciously large amount of group work and self-study, don't you think so? But it's easy, so it's okay, right? Yeah? There's other stuff that I've been thinking about lately that might not be okay, though. Misha nods after each sentence, then brushes it all aside. I thought about it, and I don't do enough work when I work with you and Shi-chan, so I'm going to try harder today. So, don't distract me, Hi-chan. I have to stay focused. That was an annoyingly transparent dodge. Shizune doesn't look too happy either, since Misha didn't bother to sign any of it, opting to twirl a pen in her hands instead. From the shaky way she was doing it, I'm sure it was so she wouldn't sign anything inadvertently. From the way Misha looks, distracted and uneasy, I doubt it's because she wants to keep Shizune out of the loop for any malicious reason. Although it's still obviously a way of distancing Shizune from herself. Shizune wants to talk to you. Just talk to her! Or sign to her! until later, Hee-chan?
No! No. Why not now?
We're in the middle of class. Yeah, and when we're not in class, you're just going to avoid us again. So, you might as well talk to us now. Now she's putting a pen in each hand. I'm beginning to think of her sighing has turned into a kind of nervous tic for her.
This isn't a good replacement, although the sight of her dual wielding is pretty impressive. After class, then.
After class, I don't waste a second bringing it back up. As everyone files out of the classroom, leaving the three of us alone, Misha takes her increasingly longer glances in every direction except forward.
Do you want to get something to eat?
Why do you and Shi-chan keep asking me if I want to eat something? Hee-chan?
Because we're all headed to the cafeteria, and we haven't eaten together in a long time. So, why not?
Is this about the student council?
Maybe? Taking Shizune's lack of a reply as admission, Misha sighs.
Shi-chan, is that all you ever think about?
Before Shizune can reply, she leaves. I have to say, I'm not left feeling very confident after what just happened. Neither of us were expecting it to go smoothly, but it would have been nice. Reading my mind, Shizune curls a finger around her glasses for a while before signing. I know what you're thinking, but no, it's not that I think we should give her some space now. I told you I wouldn't give up so easily.
Yeah, well, now I'm starting to wonder if it's not too soon.
Cold beat? Well, I'm not going to. That would be giving up on her. There's a fine line between helping someone and smothering them, but I just want Misha to pull herself together and stop acting so weird. I know she can do it. Even if she wants to try, people don't change overnight. Even if they could, the world would be a much easier place.
Okay, you win. Then I guess this is the part where we split up and look for her. Though I'm the only one who is really supposed to find her.
If I run into her first, I'll call your cell phone.
Smiling, Shizune takes out her cell phone, turning it on to prepare. I notice that she has an extremely high number of unread messages, and looking at her expression, so does she. Twirling around by the strap a couple times, she grimaces.
I don't like using this thing. Why can't I just snap my fingers?
And then what? I'm not a dog, and it doesn't travel as far as the phone signal.
You're having a lot of fun with this, aren't you? Shaking her head from side to side, she continues. It's obvious where she will go. You can't look for her on the school grounds. She would want to go as far away as she can. Check the tea shop? It's usually empty this early. Misha loves to go there if she feels like skipping class, and she loves parfaits they have there.
You really know a lot about her, but she would overthink it and turn it into something that would seem a lot more backhanded than it actually is. So I choose to just nod and leave instead, until I feel her holding onto my sleeve.
What? I say instinctively, forgetting that she can't hear me. It feels nice that I don't have to do it all by myself anymore, because I can trust you. I'm really happy.
Aww. It makes me happy to hear it. I can't think of a way to respond, and end up only nodding again.
Oh! There's a crowd passing by, but I can see Misha in it.
Heading outside, I catch a glimpse of
Pink hair behind some other girl's head, and as I head that way, I realize this isn't the way you go if you want to leave school. It's the way to the student council room. If I wanted to avoid Shizune, I wouldn't head there. It's strange that Misha would be going in that direction then. Maybe she wants to talk things over with Shizune. In which case, I have to wonder if letting things play out naturally would be such a bad idea after all, especially if it seems to be going in a good direction. Suddenly, Misha stops and spins around, catching me by surprise.
Surprise, Hee-chan! Were you looking for me? I had a feeling.
I was going to say, hey, I was just looking for you. But I suppose that's no good now.
She hasn't even finished with her sentence before she blows past me, heading for the exit. I have to admit that Misha is infuriatingly sharper than I had expected. Also surprisingly fast. Although it's more physical activity than I think I should be getting, I managed to catch up with her halfway to the gate. You're really being the rudest woman in the world right now. Agreed. Can you just stop trying to run away for 1 second? I want to talk to you. Misha turns on her heel, looking mildly amused, and raises her hand as if to tell me to go on. Now that I've got her attention though, it's hard to think of the right thing to say. Where are you going now?
To Shanghai!
Can I go with you then? Waiting for her to answer feels like an eternity. It's almost as if I can hear my wristwatch ticking off the individual seconds.
Okay then, Hee-chan.
Oh, okay. I get the sense that she only agreed because she doesn't want to argue anymore today. Ding ding ding! When we get there, a couple comes in after us, causing Misha to jump slightly at the noise. Seeing that it isn't Shizune, she relaxes again, smiling almost as usual to order a parfait from Yuko and sliding into the nearest booth. You ran off too fast. You could have at least waited to see what she was going to say. Misha's angry reaction tells me that it could be that she was afraid of what Shizune might say.
Why are you both doing this, Hee-chan?
Because Shizune still wants to be your friend. I guess that for her it's kind of like launching a nuclear missile from a submarine. You need two keys to do it. What else can she do, though? She isn't automatically saying whatever she hears or says anymore, and I'm sure that is the reason Shizune has been having so much trouble with her. If she just tried to talk it over, you wouldn't listen. Misha's guilty expression tells me I've hit the mark. Do you really hate Shizune that much?
No, Hee-chan, I told you that!
She answers without even flinching, idly playing with a spoon. Yeah, I know. I'm sure she knows it too, but I wonder if it might be easier if you did. The only thing she's really thought about for the last week is how to make you happy, since Shizune is still attached to you. Yesterday, though, she thought that would be easiest for you if you just hated her. Since you didn't tell her you hate her, Shizune thinks you can both still be friends. She's like that, only thinking in extremes. Her parfait is starting to melt, the ingredients coming together in tiny rivers that remind me of the growing roots of a tree being shown through time-lapse photography.
That's stupid! Shii-chan isn't that stupid, Hee-chan! Don't be ridiculous!
It's got nothing to do with intelligence. Smart people can do stupid things. That's true. And anyway, isn't it true? I was terrified last week when we talked, but at the end, I was relieved because it sounded like things might go back to normal. I wasn't expecting you two to have a fight right after.
It wasn't a fight, Hee-chan. It was just me yelling at her.
I've noticed that Misha's voice never really changes in tone, just volume. It's so low with guilt that I can hardly believe it came from her. Either way, I was happy because I thought you and her could still be friends, since she needs you.
No she doesn't, Hee-chan.
So? How do you know that? There's a lot of things Shizune doesn't vocalize, say, talk about. I'm afraid if I say the wrong thing, it'll ruin the mood. I get to finally have a conversation with her and don't want to screw it up. I wonder if this is the first time she's had an honest conversation with me. Just because she didn't tell you doesn't mean she doesn't like you.
That doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. Otherwise, she would argue back. You don't think so? She picks fights with everyone, so why not you? Obviously, because you're her friend, and she values you. And Shizune is hurt too. She's just awful at showing her feelings. Usually does it the wrong way too, but she still likes you.
Hee-chan, do you remember when I said I didn't want to hate Shii-chan or upset her? The truth is, I ended up doing both. Now there's, like, an awkwardness between us. It's hard to explain.
Both of you are so stubborn. You were talking about how you didn't want to drift apart from Shizune, but then you're going to let it happen. And Shizune is just as bad. She wants to be your friend, but respects you too much to be as aggressive as she'd be with anyone else. And I'm sure that Misha interprets Shizune giving her space as a lack of caring.
I screwed up already, Hee-chan. It'll happen again, I'm sure. When I think about it that way, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It feels like either way, I'll end up making things worse. Then it might be better if I didn't do anything at all, right?
Wrong!
Don't be ridiculous! Why would you even think that way in the first place? Be more positive! It should be easy for you, I want to say, but that would be presumptuous.
Hee-chan, I never knew you were so optimistic. I never expected it. You always act so gloomy when I try and surprise you.
No, this is a recent thing. Really, I just hate it when people give up easily now.
Now, huh?
It makes me mad when people give up. I used to think that giving up was kind of like running away, since that's how people always describe it, but now that I think about it, it's usually more like throwing something away. When you run away from something, you can think of it as still being there. So, I was in the hospital, and I didn't just want to run away from my problems. I wanted to never think about them again. Misha eats a spoonful of her gray ice cream goo. Did she only just remember it was there now? Or could it be she likes it that way? Anyway, my point is, you can't do that! People are too sentimental to just throw their memories out like that. It's impossible. Shizune can't think of life in terms of anything but winning and losing. Don't you think she wishes she didn't have to remember the parts where she loses? You can't pick and choose, though. That's like wanting to live in a bubble. The worst part is, your way of thinking is so wasteful. It's making you so pessimistic, you're afraid of everything. Come on. I grab her hand as I wave Yuko over with the other to pay for our food.
Where are we going now?
Back to school before lunch is over. But I want to check out a few places before then. Although I start feeling tired even after doing what could be described as on the level of a brisk jog at best, Misha and I eventually make it to the gates of the school with a little over 10 minutes to spare. I didn't even want to really come to the school, you know. I didn't have a choice. When I got to this gate, I'm sure a part of me was thinking, what a depressing place. It doesn't look depressing at all, though. Well, I still thought I had everything figured out. I felt practically like another person. If I could, I'd go back and tell myself to stop thinking he can write everything off at a glance, and acting like his life is already over and he can never have fun again. The school grounds are still littered with quite a few people. It's lunchtime, so that's typical. This is where you and Shizune had me helping you put together 2 festivals. What a lot of hard work. I thought, I don't have time for this. When I look back on it, though, I didn't do all that much. I also didn't have anything better to do. I'd have just spent the time alone. I drag her to her home room next, which is empty except for Muto trying to eat a sandwich before classes resume. Every time I thought of either of you, I wished you would leave me alone. Whether it was here or... Leaving Muto to his lunch, we head for the nearby vending machine, and I grab a soda while I still have 5 minutes to drink it. I've spent an entire lunch period with Misha, longer than both Shizune and I have managed to talk to her in days. Following me to the cafeteria, or trying to corner me in after half of my classes. I never realized we only talked like 4 times. It really was all in my head. I only barely realized it now.
I remember that, Hee-chan. But I know where all those places are, too.
Wait, let me finish my guided tour, since we're running out of time. By the way, do you want a soda? Making our way to the stairwell, I'm glad I don't have to pull her by the hand anymore. You got dizzy on stairs, right?
Yeah.
I guess just here is good enough then. I lean against the wall as Misha sits down on the steps across from me. Do you ever miss the people you went to school with in elementary school or middle school?
No.
That was fast! She didn't even have to think about it. I find myself cringing reflexively. I have more friends in my old school, but I don't talk to them anymore. It almost feels like that was another lifetime ago. Which is sad, really. Sometimes I want to talk to them again, but I know I can't. I'm scared and embarrassed, things like that. They're too far away for me to go see them. Then I think about calling them, but I don't know most of their numbers. And I left on a sour note, so why would they want to see me again? It feels like I should just forget about it, but I still think about it anyway and regret that I didn't try harder to stay in touch somehow. And I start to think that maybe feeling like I should forget about it is wrong. It'll be an insult to all those people I have fun with and a waste of all the good times. Like I said before, even if there are some bad times too, it's alright that you can look back on them as happy memories. But I didn't even think about it then. So it was like I woke up one day and realized I had no friends. I just let myself lose all my friends, and it felt awful. I'd really hate it if you and Shizune ended up the same way. That's all.
That's all?
It makes me sad to think that you'll do the same thing and push away your friend. Especially since you're not far away from Shizune. I mean, you even live in the same dorm.
Friend. Aren't you my friend too, Hee-chan?
Yeah. You slept through all of it, but the fireworks were really nice way back at the festival. my first time seeing fireworks like that. And my first time really seeing the sky in a while. And I'd never really looked at the stars before then either. I had thumbed through a book about that while I was in the hospital though, and learned a lot. Like that stars aren't just burning, they're more like a constant chain of explosions, so far away that some of the stars I'd be seeing would have been burnt out for thousands of years already. It's that their light would only just then be reaching Earth. I saw a mock-up comparing the size of the planet to our sun, and then that to other suns. Japan wasn't even visible on the tiny Earth in that book. You know what I've never realized? She looks at me expectantly. They're amazingly shiny. It's true.
Why are you doing this, Hee-chan?
Doing what?
I'm not stupid.
I don't know, a bunch of reasons. Because you're Shizune's friend, and I liked how close you were, and maybe I'm trying to tell you that we all have our low points, but giving up is stupid. Anyway, it seems worth the trouble.
That's the only reason?
And you're my friend.
That's it?
Can't I do something for no reason?
You can, but I wanted to know.
Well, what else do you want to hear? The bell rings before Misha can reply, so she ends up laughing instead. Transition! Well, my voice is starting to go, my throat is starting to go a bit tired because I recorded 2 whole episodes today. So I think I'm going to stop here right now. But at least Misha seems happier, right? So, hopefully things will be back to normal next time. So, if you all like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want more of my content. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and see ya in the next one. Yup, see ya!